Hey everybody, Sarah here. So, this video is going to be talking about the Emmy nominations. Don't really follow it, but I am this year. I mean, I'm probably gonna watch it this year. I've kind of followed it, like looking at nominations before. If it's been something I wanted to watch it for, but this year I'm gonna actually watch it. And when I see the nominations, you're gonna know why. So, Outstanding Comedy Series: Barry, Fleabag, The Good Place, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Russian Doll. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I know. Well, um, I know it's gonna sound rude however I say it. Um, but I'm not even sure how it's pronounced. But it's because of an S and there's Creek. Yeah. Anyway, and Reap. Honestly, I've only seen a bit of Fleabag, if that's even the British version, which I'm guessing it is. So I'd say Fleabag first. Outstanding drama series. Um, Better Call Saul, or how I've pronounced that last bit. Bodyguard, Game of Thrones, Killing Eve, Ozark, Pose, Succession, and This Is Us. I know what I want to win that, but I think it's got competition from two others, maybe three others. See, I think it could be Killing Eve, could be Bodyguard, but I want it to be Game of Thrones. Outstanding variety talk series: The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, never heard of. Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, never heard of. Jimmy Kimmel Live, I've heard of. Only really watched interviews on YouTube from it, if there's something I want to watch on there. Last week tonight with John Oliver, never heard of. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, heard of him, seen clips of it if there's somebody on there that I want to watch. And The Late Late Show with James Corden. I haven't actually watched it unless it was an interview with somebody I'm a fan of. Although I did watch when they've put it on telly here when he's been in London. Then I've watched it when it's actually been on telly. So I'm going to see James Corden for that. Outstanding variety sketch series: At Home with Amy Sedaris, never heard of. Documentary Now, never heard of. Drunk History, I've heard of it but I never watched it. I Love You America with Sarah Silverman, never heard of. Saturday Night Live, I've heard of, but I haven't watched it. Who is America? Never heard of. That is probably going to go to Saturday Night Live. Outstanding limited series: Chernobyl, Escape at Dannemora, Fosse Verdon, Sharp Objects, When They See Us. Here's a Chernobyl because that's been on here. Sharp Objects, I think, has been advertised and probably been on telly here, but I haven't watched any of those. Wouldn't surprise me if Chernobyl wins that. Outstanding competition program: The Amazing Race, American Ninja Warrior, Nailed It, RuPaul's Drag Race, Top Chef, and The Voice. I say I haven't seen any of those. I mean, I've seen a British version of Ninja Warrior, I think. Yeah. And I've seen the British version of The Voice. But I'm not sure what does well over in America. Just because I've heard it and I've watched it here, I'm gonna say The Voice. Even though I know it's not that one. I am not gonna do all the directing. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I'm gonna do all of them. I wasn't gonna do the directing and the writing one, but I think I will. I'm not gonna do the comedies. Hang on. Outstanding writing for comedy series. I'm not going to go into the people that write it. I'm just going to say the programs. Barry for the episode Ronnie Lily. Fleabag for episode 1. Pen 15 or PEN 15. Oh, I just realised what that looks like when you write it, yeah. I just realised that. Episode Anna Isha Peters. Russian Doll episode Nothing in This World is Easy. Russian Doll again, episode of One Body. The Good Place, Janet. Beep, episode Beep. Like I said, I've only seen a bit of Fleabag, so I'm going to say that. Outstanding writing for variety series. Documentary Now, Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Late Night with Seth Meyers, Saturday Night Live, and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. That's probably the Saturday Night Live. Outstanding writing for a limited series, movie, or dramatic special. Chernobyl, Escape Dannemora, episode 6. That program again, but that's part 6. And then that show again, episode part 7. Fosse Verdon, episode Providence. A very, very English Scandal. That hasn't got an episode, but well, hang on, I'll go back to that. And When They See Us, episode part 4. It's probably gonna go to Chernobyl, but because A Very English Scandal is written by Russell T Davies and Doctor Who, so I want him to win it. Outstanding writing for a drama series. Better Call Saul for episode Winner. Bodyguard for episode 1. Game of Thrones for episode The Iron Throne. The Handmaid's Tale episode Holly. Killing Eve episode Nice and Neat. Succession episode Nobody Is Ever Missing. Obviously I'm going to go for Game of Thrones, although I'm kind of annoyed it's that episode because they didn't have any rating for actually they had rating for one of my favourite actors in it because he was in it for like all of a couple of minutes, but for my other favourite actor in it, he was just lying there in rubble with no words to say because they killed him off. So as much as that episode, I want it to win it. Outstanding directing for a comedy series. Barry episode The Edition. Barry episode Ronnie Lily. I think that's Ronnie. Yeah, Ronnie. The Big Bang Theory episode Stockholm Syndrome. Fleabag episode 1. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel episode All Alone. All is that program again. Episode They Go In to the Catskills. I gotta say Fleabag just because it's the only one I've actually seen a tiny bit of. Not documentary, was it? Outstanding directing in a variety series. Documentary Now, episode Waiting for the Artist. Drunk History, episode Are You Afraid of the Drunk? Last Week Tonight. That always makes me pause because I keep thinking I'm saying it wrong. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, episode Psychics. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, episode Live Midterm Election Show. Saturday Night Live, episode Host Adam Sandler. Who is America, episode 102. I am going to say Drunk History. I don't have a clue with that one. Outstanding directing for a limited series, movie, dramatic special. Chernobyl. Directed by Johan Rennick. So how I would say that. Escape Dannemora, directed by Ben Stiller. Is that Ben Stiller? It is that Ben Stiller. Fosse Verdon, episode Glory, directed by Jessica Who? First Day Virgin episode Who's Got the Pain, directed by Thomas Keel or Kale. A Very English Scandal, directed by Stephen Frears. When They See Us, directed by Ava DuVernay. Because when I watched it, it was kind of filmed around where I live, some bits of it. When I say A Very English Scandal. Sorry, I just have to laugh at this one. Episode directing. Where's the episode? I keep saying episodes. I said episodes so many times, that's why. Outstanding directing for a drama series. I'm doing this like back to front now. Succession, episode Celebration. Actually, I'm not even gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna say him. Directed by Adam McKay. Ozark, episode Reparations, directed by Jason Bateman. He's an actor as well, isn't he? Yeah. Killing Eve, episode Desperate Times, directed by Lisa Bruhlman. Handmaid's Tale, episode Holly, directed by Diana Reed. Game of Thrones, episode... You'll find out why I paused when I paused then. Game of Thrones, episode The Iron Throne, directed by David Benioff. I never can pronounce his name. Benioff and GB Weiss. Game of Thrones, episode The Long Night, directed by Miguel Sapochnik. That's kind of hard to pronounce. And Game of Thrones, episode The Last of the Starks, directed by David Nutter. I just realised they did not nominate the episode where Brienne got knighted. That could have gone either way. That could have been another episode, but then that one was, yeah, never mind. Obviously, I'm gonna go for Game of Thrones one. It could go to the last one, the Iron Throne, because it's the last episode. The Long Night, it's a big battle one, but then it was kind of dark. But it could win it. I want it to be The Last of the Starks. Only for the reason you get Bronn in it for like 2 minutes. And you get Bronn and Jaime and Tyrion in the same scene, I should say. But The Last of the Starks, I mean, that's the one. Brienne and Jaime. Sorry, Pat, I love those two. Yeah, so I'm gonna say Game of Thrones, The Last of the Starks. So, yeah, done those. So acting, lead performances first. Outstanding lead actor in a comedy series. Anthony Anderson as Andre Dre Johnson Sr. on Blackish. Don Cheadle as Mo Monroe on Black Monday. Ted Danson as Michael on The Good Place. Michael Douglas as Sandy Kominsky on The Kominsky Method. Bill Hader as Barry Berkman, Barry Block on Barry. What's his name was in that? Eugene Levy as Johnny Ross on that S Creek one. I've heard of some of those. Haven't watched any of those. But because he's the one name I mean, I know Michael Douglas. I don't know him, but I've heard of Michael Douglas. I'm gonna say Ted Danson for that. Outstanding lead actress in a comedy series: Christina Applegate as Jen Hardin on Dead to Me. Rachel Brosnahan. I keep wanting to say Brosnan. Brosnahan as Miriam Maisel on Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Selena Meyer on Veep. Natasha Lyonne as Nadia Volkov on Russian Doll. Catherine O'Hara as Moira Rose on S Creek. And Phoebe Waller-Bridge as Fleabag on Fleabag. only because I know who she is and I know the program. I'm going to say Phoebe. Outstanding lead actor in a limited series or movie. Oh, what's that name? Mahershala Ali as Wayne Hayes on True Detective. Why is there so many I can't pronounce? But Benicio del Toro as Richard Matt on Escape at Dannemora. Hugh Grant as Jeremy Thorpe on A Very English Scandal. Gerard Harris as Valery Lagasov on Chernobyl. Jaharal Jerome as Corey Wise on When They See Us. Sam Rockwell as Bob Foss on Foss and Verdon. I did watch True Detective. Well, I didn't watch the first two series. I watched the third series because it had Mamie Gilmer in it. But I'm gonna say, as much as I can't stand him, and I try not to watch many. That's kind of hard when you like other people who win the film season. But I'm gonna say Hugh Grant. Outstanding lead actress in a limited series or movie: Amy Adams as Camille Preaker in on Sharp Objects. Patricia Arquette as Joyce Tilly Mitchell on Escape at Dannemora. Anjuni Ellis as Sharon Salim or Salem. I don't know if I pronounced that right. On When They See Us. Joey King as Gypsy Rose Blanchard on The Act. Niecy Nash as Dolores Wise on When They See Us. Michelle Williams as Gwen Verdon on Fosse Verdon. I say Amy Adams because I've heard of it. And I've seen that program advertised. Outstanding lead actor in a drama series: Jason Bateman as Marty Bird on Ozark. Kit Harington as Jon Snow on Game of Thrones. Sterling K. Brown as Randall Pearson on This Is Us. Bob Odenkirk as Jimmy McGill on Better Call Saul. Billy Porter as Pray Tell on Pose. Milo Ventimiglia. I know he's that one that was in Heroes. As Jack Pearson on, is that Pearson or Pearson? I'm not sure. On This Is Us. I am obviously going to say Kit Harington, even though I'm not a big Jon Snow fan. Outstanding lead actress in a drama series: Emilia Clarke as Daenerys Targaryen on Game of Thrones. Jodie Comer as, oh my god, Oksana Astankova or Villanelle on Killing Eve. Viola Davis as Annalise Keaton on How to Get Away with Murder. Laura Linney as Wendy Bird on Ozark. Mandy Moore as Rebecca Pearson on This Is Us. Sandra Oh as Eve Palestri on Killing Eve. Robin Wright as Claire Underwood on House of Cards. I've heard of some of those. Viola Davis I've heard of, but I've never watched that, How to Get Away with Murder. Even though it's done on ABC and it's a Shonda Rhimes thing, and I've watched like 3 Shonda Rhimes things. But do you know, it's between Sandra Oh, but then I've not watched Killing Eve, but I wasn't a big fan of her in Grey's Anatomy anyway. But she was in Grey's Anatomy, so. Jodie Comer I know is British, I think. Emilia Clarke. Kind of don't. Well, I can't say I don't like her. I don't like her character because she went mad, and she is the reason the Red Keep collapsed and went down on Jamie and Cersei, but Jamie. But I'm gonna say Emilia Clarke. Now this is the fun lot. Well, 2 categories of it anyway. Outstanding supporting actor in a comedy series: Alan Arkin as Norman Newlander on Kaminsky Method. Anthony Carrigan as NoHo Hank and Barry. Tony Hale as Gary Walsh in Veep. Stephen Root as Monroe, whatever that is, in Barry. Tony Shalhoub as Abe Weissman in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. It's not Harry, that's Henry Winkler as Gene. How he pronounce his last name in Barry. There's a lot of Barry ones. I think, I'm not sure. I think Stephen Root is married to Romy Rosemont, who played oh my god, why is the name going out of my head? Yeah, god. In Glee. Carol Hudson, Finn's mother in Glee. But I want to say Henry Winkler. I think they might have won last year. I'm not sure. Outstanding supporting actress in a comedy series: Alex Borstein as Susie Mayer's son in the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Anna Kolumsky as she the one that was in Mayfield. Yeah, I thought the name sounded familiar. As Amy Bruckheimer in Veep. Sean Clifford as Claire in Fleabag. Olivia Colman as Godmother in Fleabag. Betty Gilpin as Debbie Egan in Glow. Sarah Goldberg as Sally Reed in Barry. Marin Inkle as Rose Weissman in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Kate McKinnon as Rivers Carrot in Saturday Night Live. Because I've only, because it's one of the programs I've seen a tiny bit of, and I know who the person is, I am gonna hang on. Yeah, I'm gonna say Olivia Colman. Although she probably won't win it. I mean, she's Oscar winning. That's Olivia Colman. Outstanding supporting actor in a limited series or movie: Asante Black as Kevin Richardson in When They See Us. Paul Dano. I'm thinking of the wrong program. As David Sweat in Escape at Dannemora. John Leguizamo as Raymond Santana Sr. in When They See Us. I didn't even know he was nominated either. Stellan Skarsgård as Boris Sherbina in Chernobyl. Ben Whishaw as Norman Scott in Reviewing a Scandal. Michael K. Williams as Bobby McRae in When They See Us. Probably say Ben Whishaw. Could go to Stellan Skarsgård. Outstanding supporting actress in a limited series or movie: Patricia Arquette as Dee Dee Blanchard on The Act. Marsha Stephanie Blake as Linda McRae on When They See Us. Patricia Clarkson as Adora Krillin in Sharp Objects. Vera Farmiga as Elizabeth Ledger on When They See Us. Margaret Qualley as Anne Rankin on Fosse and Verdon. Emily Watson as Aluna Cormiak on Chernobyl. This is annoying. All these Chernobyl words, I can't pronounce the names. That gonna go to probably Emily Watson, maybe. Right. These are the fun ones. I didn't even know it. No. Yeah. Outstanding supporting actress in a drama series. Bear in mind, there's like 6. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 7 in the men's ones and 6 in the women's ones. Yeah. So bear in mind, there's 6 nominations in this category. Listen to what most of them are from. Gwendolyn Christie as Brienne of Tarth in Game of Thrones. Julia Garner as Ruth Langmore in Ozark. Lena Headey as Cersei Lannister in Game of Thrones. Fiona Shaw as Carolyn Martins in Killing Eve. Sophie Turner as Sansa Stark in Game of Thrones. Maisie Williams as Arya Stark in Game of Thrones. There's like 4 out of 6 of those to Game of Thrones, which I find funny. Oh, do you know what? I know some people are going to be like, why do you think those two won't win it? Or one of those two won't win it? But I want either I want Gwendolyn and Christy to win it, really. But I think it's going to be between Gwendolyn and Lena. And in a minute you'll see why. Outstanding supporting actor in a drama series. Alright, I'm doing this all over the place. I'm not doing it back to front or whatever, I'm just doing it all over the place. Jonathan Banks as Mike Ehrmantraut in Better Call Saul. Giancarlo Esposito as Gus Fring in Better Call Saul. Michael Kelly as Doug Stamper in House of Cards. Chris Sullivan as Toby Damien in This Is Us. I just sort of think I can't pronounce half these names, but there's another name coming up in a minute. I can pronounce easy enough. Alfie Allen as Theon Greyjoy in Game of Thrones. Peter Dinklage as Tyrion Lannister in Game of I presume most of them said on, but then these say in. But I say Peter Dinklage as Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones. I said Alfie, didn't I? Yeah. And Nikolai Coster-Waldau as Jamie Lannister in Game of Thrones. I mean, as long as it's the Game of Thrones person that wins it, I'll be fine. Although I do think it'll be between Nikolai and Peter. And Peter's won so many of them, I'm not sure how many Peter's won actually. And once before he was up against Nikolai and he beat Nikolai. This time Nikolai wins it, please. I mean, you killed Jamie off, so. And now you see why I want Gwendolyn or Lena to win Best Supporting Actress. Nikolai and neither of those two, although I want it to be Gwendolyn. But if Lena wins it, that's fine by me. Yeah, and I think where is it? Game of Thrones established a new record for the most Emmy nominations received in the same year by any comedy or drama series at 32, breaking the 25-year-long record previously held by NYPD Blue, which scored 26 nominations for its first season in '94. Yeah, so I want Game of Thrones to win their ones, even though some of the nominations they're up against themselves. But the acting ones, as much as I like, well, I mean, it's easy enough in the lead ones because there's only like one character from Game of Thrones in each of those. But when it comes to the supporting actor and supporting actress, there's like 3 in the men's ones and 4 in the women's ones. So please let it be Nikolai. Even if you don't have one of the ones on Game of Thrones winning the actors one, just let Nikolai win the bloody Emmy, please. Yeah, anyway, so that's, I think, what date is that on actually? I forgot to look. 20, oh, no, hang on. Why did I think it was the 22nd of September? It's the 15th of September. Yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to that, even though it's ages away. Yeah, so I'll see you in my next video, which will be next week sometime. See you then. Bye bye.